Hello and welcome to another edition of Sports Talk Live. I'm your host, as always, Brandon, here with my co-host Shelby Ball. This week we're talking WWE, WrestleMania opponents, and going back to what occurred or what's going to occur in the Elimination Chamber. But before I talk about that, make sure sports fans you get your NBA All-Star ballots in. The NBA All-Star game, it's usually played in February, but since COVID, they're going to have it in March in Atlanta, so they won't have to travel that far. But the voting will probably end March 1st or March 2nd. They're planning on having the All-Star game March 7th in Atlanta. You'll still be able to see the slam dunk contest, the three-point shootout. Now, the rookie sophomore All-Star game that you see every year, that might be played on a later date, but the All-Star game will definitely be played on Sunday. Also, Wizards All-Star Bradley Beal is leading the Eastern Conference All-Star in fan voting. So make sure that if you're a fan of the Wizards and him, make sure you get your ballots in for. He missed the All-Star game last year by a couple of votes, so we're hoping to get him back in this year into the All-Star game. I know that he was very upset, but Bradley Beal is leading the NBA in points this year. He's leading the NBA in points, so he's leading over Kevin Durant and James Harden. So you need to get this guy in your NBA All-Star ballots. What do you think, Shelby? What do you think about this Bradley Beal? How good he's playing this year?
I definitely agree with you, Brandon. I really do see Bradley Beal becoming an all-star. It was very heartbreaking last year, not just for Bradley, but for us as DC fans. It was so heartbreaking not seeing him as an all-star. It really was like, wow, like Bradley Beal's not an all-star. What is going on? It's almost like your favorite Oscar winner's just not been picked for an Oscar. You're like, how is this even possible? So I think definitely with the performance he's been putting on this year, this will get him definitely into the all-star picks, if not the top all-star pick of the East. And we'll be very happy to see it.
Yes, most definitely. So fans, like you said, you have until midnight, March 1st, to get those picks in, because the All-Star weekend is March 7th. Now, let's switch gears here and talk about this WWE situation. Now, of course, you all know who are the champions of the Royal Rumble. You got Bianca Belair, who's won the Royal Rumble in the Women's Royal Rumble match, and you have the ever-aging Edge, who won it in the Men's Royal Rumble match. I'm gonna tell you right now, Edge is coming for somebody. Either it's gonna be Reigns or McIntyre. He's coming for someone. And in my opinion, I say Edge, go for Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns, he says he's ahead of the table where you could come in and destroy all of that. I don't know if this is true, but I recently saw SmackDown Live, and I don't know if Jey Uso turned on Roman Reigns or Roman Reigns turned on him, but again, that family storyline is starting to hit the mud so fast. I mean, you saw how it was last year with Roman Reigns telling Jey Uso, if you beat me ahead in the cell, you are no longer my family. You're no longer. So Roman Reigns made him tap. He made him say, I quit. So Roman Reigns did defeat Jey Uso, but now in the process, it's Uso versus Uso, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, and how Jey Uso is coming in between matches Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is not really liking that. Kevin Owens would have been Universal Champion if Jey Uso don't be interfering in his matches. But I'm gonna tell you right now, my money is on Edge to beat Roman Reigns if Edge does in fact pick Roman Reigns as an opponent at WrestleMania. Shelby, what do you think? What do you think about Edge either facing McIntyre or Reigns?
Again, with watching what's been happening in the last few weeks, I'm a little on edge because I'm just like, ooh, should he go after Roman? Should he go after Drew? And then he made an appearance on NXT last Wednesday.
Yes, he
I'm
did.
like,
yep, he sure did.
Okay, so he has the whole pool of champions looking at him, thinking who is he gonna pick. I would say go with Roman because I would just love to see how the downhill Roman being championship goes for everybody else and how it affects the rest of the roster. However, one championship we have not seen Edge win because again he was way ahead of this new era. The NXT title. I'm sorry,
yes.
but as you guys know
yes.
me, I love making titles. I have titles all along my wall in my room here. And that baby right there, I would love to see him win that NXT title.
NXT
I'm sorry.
Title. That's right. That's right.
Again, I think it would be very cool. I would just love to see that kind of come to phase.
Yeah. Now, another winner for Royal Rumble, and she's my girl and she's Shelby's girl, and that's Bianca Belair, who won the women's Royal Rumble match.
Yeah.
And in complete fashion, I must say. And you know, I was kind of picky to see who I would want her to face. Would it be NXT Women's Champion? Would it be Sasha Banks, SmackDown Champion? Or would it be Asuka, Women's Raw Women's Champion? And so I was picking, and I said, you know what? Bianca Belair just came from NXT, so I would want to see Bianca Belair take on Sasha Banks, the Boss, because I would want to see how it's going to be a grudge match between Banks and Belair. And don't get me wrong, these two women, they know how to fight. They know how to take it to each other. And one thing that I would say that I would like to see, this match might go down to the wire if, in fact, she does pick Sasha Banks to face at WrestleMania. This could be almost a 2-hour fight because these divas they know how to bring it to each other. And Belair and Banks, are you kidding me? It's gonna have to be an hour fight and see who gets that prestigious SmackDown Women's title. And the thing is Belair can hit Sasha Banks with a fast pin, or she can hit her with not a fast pin. Fast pins in WWE these days will get you some victories. And I know for a fact that if Sasha Banks were to lose to Belair, this would be like, wow, a huge memento because, she came from NXT. And these wrestlers that come from NXT, they are so good that when they win a belt, like I take it all the way back to when Paige came and she beat AJ Styles the night she beat AJ Lee, the night after WrestleMania a couple of years ago. And AJ Lee put her title on the line. If AJ Lee didn't want to face Paige, she didn't have to, but she put her title on the line so that Paige would beat her. And then Paige went on to be a great champion. I mean, she turned over to the other side weeks down the road, but she was a prestigious champion, and she came from Australia. She was an Australian, and so Shelby, same question. Who would you like to see Bianca Belair take on for WrestleMania?
Bro, you just read my mind. I'm taking Sasha Banks because I got the SmackDown Women's Championship here. My call it's already been made. I'm sorry. This is also very historical as well to see two Black women fight at WrestleMania and be for a championship. Now, again, two pioneers that I kind of grew up with because I grew up in the 2000s era, kind of the crossover into the new millennium. I grew up watching Alicia Fox, Jazz, Jacqueline, and it was something to see those women wrestle. But I don't know what it is about this new generation with Bianca Belair, with Sasha Banks. Again, I've watched the rise of Sasha Banks to see where she is today. I watched the Iron Man match against Bayley, the NXT takeover against Bayley. The four horsewomen come together with Charlotte, Becky, and Bayley as well.
Yes.
I watched all of it. I watched her if we remember back in history, back at the first Women's Hell in the Cell, she lost in Boston to Charlotte in her hometown. So
I hated that.
it was crazy to see the rise. It's crazy to see the rise of Sasha Banks. And then Bianca Belair, this track, but CrossFit, and now this huge wrestling star in Bianca. And one thing I love about her is that she's so authentic. She makes her own gear. She's so built to her brand. And that is just something that, again, I feel like this new generation with the stars that are here in WWE right now are telling us they have a brand. And if you're behind that brand, they will give you all that they have. And with Bianca, it's just been amazing. I'm hurt that at TakeOver against Shayna Baszler, she didn't win the NXT title. I was very hurt by that. I was like, wow, okay, so she didn't win. All right, that hurts a little. But now to see that she won the Royal Rumble, and she's going to have this chance to face either Asuka or Sasha Banks. Now, this is a bit big because Elimination Chamber is on its way. So
yes,
that's kind of the mix-up now. Is like now, she's in the same predicament as Edge is. Where do they go? Because
where do they go? That's true.
Vengeance just happened. And that's the only thing that we know for certain. If anybody's still champion, we the only two people we know that are still champion, will continue to be champion leading up to WrestleMania, is Finn Balor and Io Shirai. So for me, it would be shocking to see Bianca not go for the SmackDown Women's title. However, I think it's in the cards. She's going for the women's title on SmackDown.
Oh yeah, no question. So me and Shelby, we have the same vote because we believe, and I believe in Bianca Belair ever since last year when she came with the Street Profits. So one would have to, and you brought up a good point, Shelby. So the matchup for the Elimination Chamber, we're going to have 4 superstars that used to be WWE champions. And they're going to be taking on Drew McIntyre. It pains me to say this, that we only have one good person who is going to be at WrestleMania as the 4 WWE championships. Those 4 former WWE champions that I'm about to name, it pains me to say this because there's only one who I would cheer for. Maybe 2. It depends on how he's looking right now. So I'm about to give you the names. 1, we have the Viper, Randy Orton. 2, the phenomenal AJ Styles. 3, Sheamus. 4, Jeff Hardy. And to cap that off, with the 5th member being Drew McIntyre. So as I name these superstars, I'm thinking, okay, Jeff Hardy, he hasn't been WWE champion since he's been back, so he could turn out to win and beat Drew McIntyre and win the gold. And then Jeff Hardy and Edge will be challenging one another at WrestleMania. Then you have to think about AJ Styles and that huge, tall bodyguard that he has with him, that tall idiot, whatever his name is. You have to wonder, will he be able to pull some strings to get AJ Styles to beat Drew McIntyre. AJ Styles wins the belt, and then Edge faced AJ Styles. Then you have to wonder about the legend killer Randy Orton. Him and Drew McIntyre, they have history together, dating back to SummerSlam, dating back to last year. So you got to wonder about Randy Orton. Then you got to wonder about the two best friends, Sheamus and McIntyre. Sheamus is trying to become WWE champion for, I think, the third or fourth time in his career. The last time he was WWE champion, Roman Reigns was still good, and he beat Roman Reigns at the SummerSlam back in, I forgot what year it was, but that was the last time Sheamus was champion. So, I mean, with all these superstars trying to take on Drew McIntyre, I will say this. It will be a competitive battle. Now, at the end of the day, Drew McIntyre is still going to be Universal Champion. But it's going to be much harder for him. I mean, now, here's the thing. There's no Braun Strowman in this match. There's no Fiend Bray Wyatt. There's definitely no John Cena. There's definitely no Big Show. There's definitely no Kane, no Undertaker. So Drew McIntyre ain't got to worry about those guys. But he also has to worry. But he got to worry about AJ Styles' bodyguard, because this guy's tough, man. And he can pull some strings to get AJ that belt come Elimination Chamber. There's also Randy Orton. He could pull some strings. Did anybody see when he lit Alexa Bliss on fire?
Yes.
Here's my take. Here's my take on this. If Randy Orton can do that, Randy Orton can do anything to Drew McIntyre to win that belt. And then you have to worry about Jeff Hardy. He can fly. He can jump on obstacles and he can fly. And he can pin you for the WWE champion. I'm gonna tell you this: if I had to pick a winner, as much as I want Drew McIntyre to retain that belt, my money is on Jeff Hardy. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say my money is on Jeff. If anybody can beat Drew, it's Jeff Hardy. Because and I say this because Jeff Hardy, he's been in the ring with Drew McIntyre a couple times. He knows how Drew plays. All of these guys have been in the ring with Drew. But I think Jeff Hardy is the more wet behind the ears veteran. Randy Orton is a veteran. AJ Styles is not a veteran. Sheamus is not a veteran. So you got Randy, you got Jeff, and you got Drew. So Shelby, my question to you is, who do you think is going to win at the Elimination Chamber? Do you think Drew McIntyre will retain, or do you think somebody else will come in and take the belt away from Drew?
All right. Well, first of all, that is a very loaded question. Here is what I will say. With what is going on, first of all? That is a great lineup of people to put against Drew McIntyre.
Yes, it is.
So I guess thanks to Shane O'Mac for coming back out of absolutely nowhere, just to relay that message. But I feel that, again, I'm gonna kind of agree with you and also pick somebody else, because I feel like they could run for the championship at the same time. So my two picks are Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. Now, I was gonna add Randy Orton to that equation. However, what I've been seeing lately,
that guy's crazy, dog.
Is Alexa is going anywhere. She is gonna go to obscure lengths that Randy Orton does not touch that title. Like, she will make sure that there's a way, that there's a blockage in every part of Randy's road so he does not touch that title again. And I would love to see how that storyline still built. First of all, what I saw last week, just to talk about that storyline for a second, oh my. Oh my is all I could say. I was scared. Like, I was actually like, I was almost shaking with fear. Like, wow, okay, so look, the writing is something lately.
Yes, it
But
is.
that's how I see it. So I had to take Randy out of the equation. I'm sorry, Randy. However, that still does leave two big names in Sheamus and Jeff Hardy. Now, I said this to a friend. I need Jeff Hardy to win a few more times before he leaves the WWE. Like, that would just make my little 2009 7-year-old heart happy. If he wins a few more times just before he says it is over and done with, I'm good. I can live peacefully and be like, all right, good. We've seen Jeff Hardy go out like on top, where I feel like he's also in the same spot of with Edge. They haven't touched every belt that there is in the WWE. So I feel that that's something that both of them can strive to in this path of meeting at each other at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Or if that happens, if Jeff kind of gets past Drew. With Sheamus now, on the other hand, I feel like this starts I feel like he's at a point of an anti-hero turn at the moment. Like he's kind of being cheered for, but at the same time, it's like, is he really supposed to be cheered for? You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
I feel like it's one of those types of things, and it kind of it's a reminder that there's more to the story. Like, there's more to be told there, and I want to just unravel that a little bit more in Elimination Chamber between Drew and Sheamus. However, I don't know how much of that we'll see, and I don't know if that will start that kind of friendly feud between Sheamus and Drew, where one turns heel, one is still face. Who knows how that could go, but that could be something really interesting to see.
Nah, you brought up some good points. There is a systematic approach here. Now, everybody knows John Cena is a 16-time champion. So I was telling Shelby this the other day, I was saying, okay, so John Cena has a way of showing up at the most surprising times. Like, I don't even know what this dude is, where this dude is right now, but I did read something that was kind of shady today on WWEnetwork.com.
It might be running out. Okay.
And it was about John Cena. And I said, okay, please don't tell me John Cena is coming back to Elimination Chamber. And because this is, okay, John Cena, no disrespect to all the other wrestlers that have come before him. He is my favorite wrestler because hustle, loyalty, and respect. And he believes in that movement. Now, aside from John Cena, there's other wrestlers who would be in that name. Case in point, the Big Show. And we saw the Big Show on Legends Night back here in January. So, and there's other wrestlers who can still fight. If history serves us correctly, it was last year when the Big Show, even though Drew McIntyre had just finished beating in a brutal match with Brock Lesnar, and Shelby already knows where I'm going to go with this. The Big Show challenged Drew McIntyre to a Universal Championship match, even after he just got out of a brutal fight with the Beast Brock Lesnar. Now, Shelby, do you remember that?
I do. I definitely do. I totally remember that.
He literally said, "Okay, that's good. You beat Brock Lesnar. That's good. That's good. But now, can you beat me, the 7-foot athlete?" Let me tell you something. If Drew McIntyre can beat the Beast, and I'm sorry, Big Show, the Beast is more dangerous than you. So if Drew could beat the Beast, what makes you think he couldn't beat you? And I love Big Show. Big Show's my boy. But what makes you think he couldn't beat you last year after he just got out of a brutal match with Brock Lesnar? If Drew McIntyre could beat you, Brock, he could beat Big Show too. And that's what Drew McIntyre did. He beat Big Show same night, same day, even after he won the belt. And he was a little bit tired after that. So if John Cena were to come back, Drew McIntyre can beat him too. It's not to say that John Cena has lost touch with being on WWE, but he's found a way to do it where he's now, on Nickelodeon. He's hosting Nickelodeon shows. He's hosting Team Nick. He's hosting the Kids' Choice Awards. He's hosting Saturday Night Live. John Cena is doing all these things that The Rock is now doing. John Cena is hosting all these kids shows, Kids' Choice Sports. Awesome. Kids' Choice Awards. He's hosting Saturday Night Live. Yeah. He is nowhere near in tip-top shape to wrestle at Elimination Chamber. Now he could have got back in shape, but last time I saw him, John Cena, the man was on an Experian Boost commercial riding a purple cow. Come on, dude. He's not serious about coming back to WWE and fighting nobody. If he's on an Experian commercial riding a purple cow, talking about Experian, no, he's not talking about coming back to WWE. So we ain't got to worry about John Cena. Now, the one person who might be on the roster, Shelby, and brace yourself. We have not seen him since he lost at WrestleMania. That's Brock Lesnar. That's the Beast Brock. We have not seen him. So
I don't.
So you know what's funny? I never read anything about Brock Lesnar being on the roster, but when I read the roster back in January, they said Brock Lesnar was still on the Raw roster on Monday Night Raw. So I don't know.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
who knows? And I think this is kind of an opportunist time for somebody to really come through and just kind of shake the grounds of like what's going on right now in the business. And that'll be really cool to just see one of those guys that you name return. Not saying all of them have to come back, but it'll be really cool to see them return and kind of go after also another championship. That's just, at that point, if Drew loses it, it's really just up for grabs.
It's very up for grabs, and we always hear about champions that haven't been champion in a while. Well, another championship that could possibly be on the line at WrestleMania, depending on whether he fights or not, is the IC belt, Big E Langston. And
I see.
As much as I love my boy Big E, if this person stands up and fights him, he's back to the good side now. It's so, I'm gonna tell you something. It does me so good to see Shinsuke Nakamura back on the good side. I love this dude. He's back on the good side now.
Yeah.
Yes, he's fighting the bad people again. I love it. As much, this is gonna hurt me to say this, but I would love to see. And I just saw this guy too. On Friday Night SmackDown. I would love to see Otis win the IC belt off Big E. Otis from the it's Otis and Tucker when they first came in the league. The heavy machinery. I would love to see Tucker take on and beat Big E Langston, because as much as the New Day has been happy with the championships.
Otis.
It's. I think it's Otis's time. See, Otis lost the Money in the Bank to Miz. Last year at Summer after last year during SummerSlam. I felt so bad for him, and I said no.
Right.
He needs to win a belt. He needs to win. So I think Otis might be in the IC title shot down the road. I especially even think that now, if he promises not to turn back to the bad side after he wins this belt, I would consider him being IC champion again. That's Shinsuke Nakamura. I could see him possibly being IC champion again, but he's going to have to promise that he won't turn to the other side again. I'm okay with Nakamura right now, but you're gonna have to promise me if he wins the belt, he won't turn back to the bad side. And here's the thing. I think Cesaro might be good too, but Shelby, I saw something that I really didn't want to see, and I have to bring this up. I saw a YouTube video today. It was SmackDown, and I saw Cesaro, AJ Styles, and Sami Zayn on the same side. Now, I don't know if Cesaro turned against Shinsuke Nakamura or not, but when I saw the match between Cesaro and Dolph Ziggler, I saw the crowd cheering for Cesaro again. So now I know. I said, okay, so why did I just see Cesaro on the side with AJ and Cesaro? I mean, and the other guy, Sami Zayn. And I said to myself, okay, is he just doing this like for one night, or is he doing this for another night? But it's quite funny. But I guess he and Nakamura went their separate ways, and they're not a team anymore. But at the same time, you got to wonder, is this the end for Nakamura and Cesaro as tag team champions, tag team partners? Because I mean, they were really good as tag team partners. They were winning matches and stuff and things like that and that nature. And I'm just trying to see myself how this IC championship go. Another superstar I will put in there that could possibly beat Big E, and he's been, I'm trying to think, has he been IC champion before? I know he's been United States champion. I don't think he was ever. Maybe he was IC. That's Apollo Crews. I want to see my man Apollo win the belt again, or at least get a belt. Now, Apollo was U.S. champion before that roughneck Bobby Lashley beat him, which I'm still upset about that. But Apollo Crews, he had championship experience. And all I'm going to say is Big E Langston could be in some trouble at WrestleMania. So, Shelby, same question goes to you. I mean, would you like to see Big E hold on to the belt, or would you want to see somebody new?
Well, first of all, I agree with the planning and the mindset that you bring to this, because definitely there is a big chance that this could be the end of Big E's reign.
Yeah.
You know, and my thing is, I really want to see, because now again, I was in theory, if he wasn't Raw Tag Team Champion with Shelton Benjamin, I would have said Cedric Alexander. Now,
yeah, that's right, Cedric.
My thing is, I only would have said Cedric if Ricochet was on the picture. Now, again, we've seen Ricochet, we've seen Cedric. They're very, crazy, out of this world. You know, the 630 from Ricochet, the lumbar check from Cedric. You know, their movesets are great and very parallel. Big moment, I would love to see somebody that you mentioned, Apollo Crews, to go after the IC. I don't know why, but I feel that it is in his nature to be a winning champion. However, what title, I'm not totally sure, but I feel like IC is his best door that is opening right now.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you too. I would say, I don't know if Big E now Big E he can possibly retain IC.
Mm-hmm.
And if that happens, good for him. I would love for him to retain the IC belt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get to a story right quick that I found interesting today as I was getting ready for our show, and they were true. They were true. So on the recent Wrestling Observer radio show, Dave Meltzer was asked about Bo Dallas' status with WWE. Since he hasn't been seen on TV in over a year, some wonder if he is still under contract with the WWE. Meltzer confirmed that Dallas is still under contract, and for some reason, creative has not come up for anything for him to do. The 30-year-old Dallas was last seen at a house show in November of 19, 2 years ago. His last TV appearance was at the Crown Jewel event on October 3rd of 19, and a month earlier would have been his last appearance on the weekly TV show. So in late 19, Dallas said that he was going to be on a life-changing expedition, and fans would see a Bo they never seen. So 7 months later, he sent out a tweet that had fans speculating that he was NXT bound. So, yeah, we have not seen Bo Dallas since the Crown Jewel event, and ever since November 19. So you wonder how is he doing now? He is the brother of Bray Wyatt. So if he comes back, and if he comes back bigger and better than Bray Wyatt has ever been, then one will question, okay, yeah, Bo Dallas is definitely his brother because his brother has turned him into the dark side, just like he has turned Alexa Bliss, sweet little Bliss, into Sister Abigail. So what makes you think that Bo Dallas come in? And you know what? I can see WWE actually doing this, Shelby. I can see no one's seen Bray Wyatt since Randy Orton beat him. So what? This might be a genius move that Vince McMahon might make. He might make Bo Dallas the next Fiend because Bray Wyatt is gone and no one's seen Bray Wyatt. Bo Dallas could come back as the Fiend and team up with Alexa Bliss, and they could host the Firefly Funhouse until Bray Wyatt gets back or comes back even. So that was pure genius because Bo Dallas, he does kind of look like Bray Wyatt just without the facial hair. But now Bo Dallas has facial hair, and he kind of looks like Bray Wyatt. So this is totally genius, and I can see WWE doing this. I can see Bo Dallas coming back as Bray Wyatt and him and Alexa Bliss. I don't know if he's going to come back as a Fiend, but if he comes back as Bray Wyatt, the old Bray Wyatt, and Alexa Bliss team up together. And Bo Dallas know all of Bray Wyatt's moves. If he's seen him do it in the ring, he knows all his moves. So, wow, this is this might be a bold move on Bo Dallas's part. Shelby, if this thing that I said is true, would you like to see Bo Dallas come back as the next Bray Wyatt or the next Bray Wyatt lookalike?
Well, I'm taking a laugh to this one because wow, that's crazy. Bo Dallas, man. We haven't heard of Bo in a minute. So it's definitely been a hot minute since he's been to WWE. But would I like to see Bo Dallas as the next Fiend? No. Would I like to see Bo Dallas back in WWE? Yes. And the reason being is because I feel that WWE can play two ways to the end on this one. Or 2 ways to the middle on this one. They can either play it as Bo Dallas returns and he kind of takes over for the Fiend before the Fiend, I guess, comes back to really like full strength and all.
Mm-hmm.
Or Bo Dallas can be everything. Now, pick up on what I'm saying here. Bo Dallas could be the equalizer to his brother. So it's almost like everybody doesn't really have to put their fears into the Fiend, because Bo Dallas, if he comes back, he could be like that balancing figure that really weighs out the Fiend, you know?
Exactly.
So that could definitely be something they could dive into. I don't know if the story crew will do so. That's definitely something they could do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. And going back to what you said, I wouldn't want to see him come back as Bray Wyatt, because then they're gonna have to get used to Bray Wyatt all over again. I would say, now this player, this is a bold type move for me. The next person who I would want to see take out, okay, so we all know that Bobby Lashley is still United States champion. So I'm gonna take a gander, and I'm gonna say he will not go into WrestleMania as United States champion. Somebody will have to come on the scene bigger, probably a little bit stronger than Bobby Lashley, to take the belt from him. And here's my top 3 pick here. Now, we haven't seen this guy in a while, and now, wow, it's been maybe 2 years since we've seen this guy. So I don't know for a fact if he's still on the main roster, or was he somewhere NXT? But my bet to see who, my bet to you know what? No, let me scratch that. The next person who I want to see as United States champion to take out Bobby Lashley. That's my boy R-Truth. I love R-Truth, man. And R-Truth, he don't let his jokes fool you. R-Truth can fight, man. R-Truth got those knuckles, man. He can fight you. He can take you down. And R-Truth, I feel like Vince McMahon has used this guy as a clown. Like, Vince McMahon does not take R-Truth seriously. That's why in all his segments, he's talking like crazy out of his head. And they don't take R-Truth seriously for no reason at all. So if R-Truth wants to be taken seriously, R-Truth need to go after that United States belt. He need to be fighting Bobby Lashley. I'm gonna give you another person who I think who could probably beat Bobby Lashley in the ring, and that's Ricochet. I believe Ricochet can take out Bobby Lashley, and I believe Ricochet can be in line for a United States Championship match down the road. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil, because remember, Titus O'Neil had a run-in with the he had a run-in with them. He had a run-in with that team. I forgot the name of the team already. God dang it. Anyway, he had a run-in with that team.
Hurt Business.
Hurt Business, right? Thank you. Titus O'Neil had a run-in with the Hurt Business back in January, and he tried to sell Titus worldwide. So those are my 3 picks. I think Ricochet could be in line for the United States Championship. I think R-Truth could be in line for the United States Championship. And I think Titus O'Neil could be in line for the United States Championship. Because Titus O'Neil, he was U.S. champion before, but remember, that was when they had the old one, the old belt. Now they got this new one that MVP created. That is the ugliest U.S. belt I ever seen. For real. Like the old one, like I can get down with the old. The old one was good, but the new one is okay. I mean, I ain't gonna say, but the new one looks like an airplane, like a flying airplane. That's what that belt looks like. It doesn't have. I mean, the MVP even think about the red, white, and blue, the stars and everything. I'm gonna tell you something. John Cena made that United States belt what it is today. But MVP, he just trashed it up. He did. He made that belt trash. And here's the thing. MVP knows this because he the one that gave the belt to Bobby Lashley after he beat Apollo Crews. So, I'm gonna say this. 2021, you might be seeing some new champions. You might be seeing some new champions. So,
right.
Shelby, same question. Do you think Lashley will retain the U.S. belt go heading into WrestleMania, or do you think he might lose it before then? What's your take on this?
So I really personally I want Lashley to lose the belt. Again, I'm a fan of Lashley, but I want Lashley to lose the belt.
Yep.
That would be nice. But no, really though, I do agree with one person that you brought up to the conversation, and I think he could have a great time in kind of running it back because he's won the U.S. belt before, but it's been a while since, and I would say Ricochet definitely for sure. I could definitely see him going after the U.S. Championship, and I feel like that would be really, really awesome to see. One person again, because he's kind of on a heel ride. He's kind of like on a heel raid right now. But I feel like if they were fighting over a championship, it would really like propel them both. Mustafa Ali, the leader of Retribution, versus Ricochet for the U.S. Championship.
Yes,
that is something that I'm just like, because again, we see them feuding. Like their feud is not going unnoticed. Like we see them feuding. We see Mustafa always be like, "Hey, Ricochet, you gotta come to Retribution." He's like, "Nah, fam, I don't rock with Retribution like that." So, like, there is definitely some type of there's some type of leverage here, but it needs something to get off the ground because it's not getting off the ground. It's there, it's prominent, but it's not where it could be, and that's something to take into consideration. It's not to the level that it definitely could be. So personally, I would say Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, 101. I would say and again, this is me kind of being crazy because I have a little bit of I don't know. I guess I have a teeny bit of a bloodlust when it comes to the chambers and all that. Because in the olden days, they used to actually now whenever you see a speck of red, or they just set the cameras to white and black, and I'm just like, are you kidding right now? Are you actually kidding right now? I don't like how you're going about this, but it's okay. It's really not okay. But in real talk though, I feel that would be really beneficial for both of them, and I would see them both fighting over the U.S. Championship probably at Hell in a Cell. Yeah. Or no holds barred, but Yeah, that's why I see that going down. And I see that beneficial for not just Ricochet, but also for Mustafa.
Yeah. Good points. I mean, the thing is, Mustafa Ali, he came in when 205 Live was a part of Raw. And I remember when when he and Neville had that feud. He and Neville had that feud with each other.
Yeah.
After Enzo Amore. After Enzo Amore won the 205, after he won the championship from Neville, I remember Neville and Mustafa Ali being on the same page to get Enzo Amore out of 205 Live. Now, like you said, I really think that, you know, that Bobby Lashley. I mean, I like Bobby Lashley too. Just like when he's good, he's all right. When he's good, when he's bad, he's not my favorite person. But I would say to that fact that right now there's nobody stepping up to fight him for U.S. belt right now. So he could walk into WrestleMania as U.S. champion, or he could lose it. There's a person, and I have another story that I'm gonna read to you. And I don't particularly know this person. Maybe you might know him from 205 Live, but former 6-time WWE 24/7 champion Drake Maverick has shared an amusing response to rapper Bad Bunny capturing the 24/7 championship on this week's edition of Raw. The 205 Live general manager wrote, "If you're planning on getting married anytime soon, there's a chance it won't go so well. Heard that off of mate. Congrats." Mavericks was referring to this past storyline with R-Truth, in which he repeatedly lost the 24/7 title on his wedding day in a series of impromptu matches that preventing him from marrying his wife, Renee Michelle. As noted, Bunny was seen in conversation with Mandy Rose in a backstage segment before Damian Priest helped him beat Akira Tozawa for the 24/7 title. A little later, Bunny and Rose were snapped together for WWE's social media channels. So rapper Bad Bunny is a 24/7 champion. Hey, this is what Mick Foley was saying when he introduced it 2 years ago. He said, anybody could come in, win that 24/7 champion. Any former diva could come in, win that championship off you. Any diva right now can come in and win that 24/7 championship off you. That 24/7 championship does not discriminate. A man or a woman can win that belt, and that championship don't discriminate. 24/7 champion don't discriminate. R-Truth was a great 24/7 champion, don't get me wrong, but whenever a rapper comes into WWE and he can like inch his way in and can say, you know what, okay, I'll fight you for this 24/7 championship belt. He came in and he did his thing. After Bad, I don't know too much about Bad Bunny, but to see him and Mandy Rose take a snapshot picture behind the set of Raw, that was just, you know, icing on the cake, I guess, for him, because he was so happy to have won it. And, you know, he beat Akira Tozawa for it. And Akira Tozawa, you know, he's the one. Akira Tozawa is the one with those ninjas. He be having those ninjas with him. I said, dude, why you got ninjas with you, man? I mean, you can't fight these matches by yourself. You got to have a bunch of ninjas wearing black suits and black masks to help you fight battles for you, man. And here's what I have a huge problem with. Okay, ninjas, they want to help you win matches. Listen, them ninjas can't help you win no belt, no nothing. They can't help you with anything. You gotta win the belt by yourself. And yeah, and if they interfere in the match, well then yeah, that match automatically gets called, and you can't win the belt because the ninjas prevented you from winning the belt. So at this point in time, it's kind of hard for him to win anything right now because of those ninjas. But if he got rid of them, then he can start winning belts again. He can start winning. And Akira Tozawa, he's not a bad wrestler. Matter of fact, he's beat some good. He's beating some good wrestlers. He was with Titus Worldwide when Apollo and Titus were together, and he was with them, and they would win the matches and everything.
Right.
So I would say, as far as this 24/7 championship goes, this championship is very dangerous. Mick Foley said that. He said that when he introduced it. He said 24/7 championship is very dangerous. Anybody can win it. Anybody can have a great time with it, and they can win it off you in a mere split second. So, Shelby, what do you think about rapper Bad Bunny winning this 24/7 championship?
I like his music a lot. No, but really though, like it again, like you said, Mick said it himself. It's dangerous that somebody can probably just come in and just win the championship for a day and just hold it till the end of the show and so forth. But I really do I appreciate that he has a love for wrestling. That's really awesome. And hey, enjoy that championship, because you never know who's around the bend just waiting for you to turn your back so they can take it. You never know. You never know. That's why it's 24/7.
Yeah, it is. It really is that,
Oh, if you don't mind, Brandon, I'm just going to plug something real quick. So I know everybody, you guys can't really see this right now, but Brandon can. So I'm kind of make WWE titles. I hope that at some point I could have a beautiful segment to this show to kind of walk through you guys. If you guys ever want to make a title at home and you feel like you don't have all the tools to make one, or you don't have all the money to buy a $300 title, I can show you how to make one just for free. That's and low key for bootleg, which is not too bad. But really you can have the titles of your own, and you can make them by yourself with just paper, tape, and if you have a printer that works, a printer of any kind, or if you want to cut out an image of any kind, you can use that image and then make it into a full span belt. That's how I have some of the belts up on my wall. I have the men's NXT, the women's NXT UK, the NXT tag team titles, the Raw tag team title, the TNA heavyweight championship, and many more. So if you guys ever want to hear a segment about that, please comment under this video and let us know if you ever want a little segment called
comment in the
Titles with me. And I'll see you guys soon.
All right. That's good. That is she's really good with that, folks. So you guys want to see Shelby make some, and you guys want to make some, in your spare time, go ahead and do that, because that is great. I'm going to start making mine. So she started with me, so I've definitely been inspired to make some of my own tag team championship belts. This is a time where WWE and in the sports world has been so depleted with COVID, but it's good to see the wrestlers still wrestling, because COVID. It's nice to see that COVID didn't mess up wrestling. It's nice to see that. Now, you would think that and we had a Super Bowl, like we had an NFL season that could have been shortened because of COVID, because there were some football players that contacted COVID and they got sick. And I remember one game, Shelby, this was so bad. Okay, so I was watching, this was back in November, the Broncos and I think the Chiefs was playing. And the Broncos only had 4 quarterbacks. The Broncos had 4 quarterbacks who had COVID. And the Broncos
Okay.
wanted the NFL commissioner to postpone the game until the next week. And he said no, because those 4 quarterbacks were together that night. Those 4 quarterbacks were together. And they were partying. They didn't have no mask on. They were together the whole time. So instead of the Broncos hiring a quarterback, getting a veteran, getting a free agent quarterback, they hired a quarterback from their practice squad. So, but he wasn't a quarterback. This guy was the punt returner. The punt returner had to play quarterback.
Oh wow!
This guy did so bad. The Broncos only scored 3 points in that game. The whole game they only scored 3. Because this is how horrible the guy played.
Oh no!
I was like, dude, why? Okay, so I questioned. So I questioned. I said,
that's crazy.
Okay, we know that you could not postpone the game, but the Broncos could have hired another quarterback just for the day to play quarterback. They didn't have to get the punt returner to play. I mean, geez, because the punt returner is not. He's not known for throwing the ball. He's known for catching the ball and running it down the field, possibly scoring a touchdown. He's not known for throwing the football. So if you throw the football, what makes you think he's gonna be able to throw the football to a receiver or a running back when he's the running back his own self? Now that just don't make no sense right there.
Right.
I really felt sorry for the Broncos that day. I felt sorry for them. I said, oh my gosh, you guys. And on top of that, you guys have to play the defending Super Bowl champions, who were the Chiefs, in that game. But I would say this. I would say,
oh no,
that game was horrible. I couldn't even watch the rest of that game. I said, you know what? I'm not watching the rest of this game because this game is atrocious. You're letting the punt returner get killed out here, and he doesn't have experience with throwing the football. This guy's getting creamed out here. It's just crazy.
Right.
What do you think about that story? What do you think about that?
Exactly. Well, thank goodness they didn't make it to no Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Wow. Broncos, what are y'all doing? Really though, like what? Like, okay, so guys, everybody listening, we kind of have this segment through our radio club squad here. Something really stupid that just does not make any sense. It does not add up. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, you really say to yourself, how is this even possible that this was even a thing? So we have, if you guys know, you may have seen it through the interwebs or the net. There's this little thing called the roast hand. And the roast hand is the roast hand is just, and y'all know the word that goes with the roast hand, boy, because literally boy is just it just is what it is. So like, here's the worst part. We have this thing where if anybody in the group just says or does something just off the wall, like balls to the walls, like they're just like, and you just have to sit there and you're just like, why did you ever think that was a good idea? I always bring up the roast hand card. It literally looks like a Pokemon or Magic the Gathering. Shout out to my Magic the Gathering friends out there. It looks like a Magic the Gathering or Pokemon card, and it literally has the roast hand. So sure that's does. Exactly what I'm gonna say because today I will tap my roast card to the Denver Broncos.
Yep, that's what you gotta do. You gotta do that. That is messed up right there. Yep, that's what. Yep. Yeah, sports fans, that's the roast hand right there. We use that, like Shelby said. We use that for all our radio
But
club meetings.
no, all the time.
Yep.
I will read a portion of I again, here's what I will say to this. The Broncos aren't dumb. They were just dumb enough to know.
Yep.
Now, my thing is, again, I wouldn't even let Washington do something that dumb. I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
Yes.
I know we have a bad
Yes.
record and all, but I wouldn't even let Washington do something that dumb. So yes, today the roast ham card goes to the Denver Broncos. And also, I will untap and this is language for MTG. If anybody plays Magic the Gathering, you know what I'm saying. Now I will actually tap my I will um I'm sorry. I had to tap my Pokemon WTF face because
Yep.
guy Denver.
Yep. Man.
Like my brain cells are just lost over the mere fact that they would even
Yeah.
like I've been arm game on and there's cannons for fun things and no, you pick literally somebody who runs the ball only one time. Well,
Yeah.
one time
Yeah.
in like 1 or 2 times in maybe every quarter. So
Exactly.
I'm just like,
it's like when I saw that game, I was like, hold on. Y'all got the punt returner playing quarterback. What in the world? What was y'all thinking? Like, I said, okay.
That's to all of us.
Right. I know that the NFL commissioner tried to teach the Broncos a lesson because all 4 quarterbacks got COVID after they would have got at a party. Okay. Teach them a lesson. But as the Broncos president, and by the way, shout out to John Elway. John Elway is president for Denver. He's been their president ever since he retired from football. Nice. John Elway was the quarterback for the Denver Broncos back in the late 80s and early 90s. So shout out to him. But John Elway, I got a bone to pick with you, my brother, because you sat there and you let the Broncos pick a punt returner from the practice squad and have him be your quarterback. Wait, did you have COVID brain or something?
Mm-hmm.
Because this guy might have been sick with COVID when he did.
Right.
This guy might have said, "Okay, oh man, I shouldn't be here.
Honest.
I was sick with COVID, and I made a decision to have a punt returner be our quarterback." This is
right.
This was so wrong, and I felt so sorry for Denver that day. I was like, okay, I don't feel sorry for the players. I feel sorry for the president who made the decision not to pick a quarterback out the practice squad to see who could play quarterback for that day against the Chiefs. I mean, yeah, you didn't win, but you could have scored more points than just 3. Mm-hmm. Come on. Really? You could have scored more points than that. You could have at least had 10, 17 maybe. But come on, 3? That don't make no sense. points.
Right.
A field goal. Now I know you playing the defending champion, Chiefs. Okay, Chiefs, Pat Mahomes, Showtime Mahomes. But you only scored 3 points, and what does that make you look? And the Broncos and the Chiefs, they're in like, I want to say they might be in the same division. I'll have to check again, but they might be in the same division. But you're playing a divisional opponent, and you're letting Pat Mahomes just run all over you, and you're not even playing defense because the Broncos was terrible on defense this year because they was missing their Pro Bowl defensive linebacker and Von Miller. So Von Miller was out for the whole year last year. He didn't have COVID, but he had a serious leg injury that caused him to miss the whole entire season. And if you don't have Von Miller is NFL's best defensive back. You don't have him, the Broncos don't have anybody. They don't have anybody who could stop Patrick Mahomes.
Very true.
And that day, I couldn't watch because that was the 4:00 game that came on television. Because the Washington football team had already won. They already played the game. And that game came on television. And I said, you know what? I'm not looking at this no more. This game is sorry. This game is pathetic. Right. So that's all I had to say about that game. That game was just pathetic. It really is. It was just pathetic. It was pathetic. It made me seriously question the ownership of the NFL right now. Like Roger Goodell, why would you let this happen?
What's going on?
Why would you let this happen, Roger Goodell? You know,
right?
You know that team could have signed a better. You gonna have to punt return to play quarterback. What is wrong with you, man? Come on, seriously. Seriously.
Well, that's when you know when that's a bad idea, right?
Yeah, that's when you know. That's when you know it's a bad idea to do that. But we're going. What's up?
I was just going to say before we run out of time, I had a few friends and peeps on the interweb. I put up a song if anybody wanted us to react to, because I know we do a lot of sports, and I wanted to kind of go out of sports.
I would like to hear that song. What's up? Yep.
So the song that everybody has picked, and thank goodness I have this on my phone.
Awesome.
I told them whatever song you want us to pick, and I said I would kind of do this like towards like the back half or the end of the show, just so you can hear our thoughts. And today's song is actually one of my favorites. The worst part is I've already heard this song because I listen to it kind of almost every day. It's a memory song for me. But so the category that everybody picked was rock/metal. Thank you guys, because you already know how I feel.
Yes.
I'm very happy about that choice. And the song that they picked the band that they picked is Straight Line Stitch. And I know Straight Line because I've listened to their music back in 2013, a few years before they would kind of go dark. And then, till now in 2020. And the woman from I think in from 2000 to 2015 been dark kind of since 2015, so they haven't really gone on to do much active stuff since then, but they've put out I think 3 or 4 studio albums, and they've had a lot of success during the 2000s, but again nice. Their front woman Alexis after 2015 off to become a mother, and
all right, awesome.
I've been so happy for her. That's awesome to hear. And they were out of Knoxville, and everybody wanted me to hear
Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties for Shelby. She'll be back in just a couple more minutes to introduce you to the song. But while waiting for Shelby to return, um, there she is.
I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm having a bit of connection issues over here. But the song that was picked was Human Bondage from the Transparency album. If you want to go listen to it, you can. The links will be in the comment section. So if you want to go check out the music video or the audio video, they both are on YouTube, and the song can be on any streaming music platform of your choice. The funniest part about this is that I know the song, so I'm gonna try and not ruin it for Brandon. Even though I know this song from front to back. I will say again, Brandon, if you're not into heavy metal, I'm so sorry. It's okay.
Oh no, heavy metal is good. I like, yeah. Go ahead.
I showed this song to my dad before, and he was like, "What is it?" And I'm just like, "You just gotta experience it. You can't be worried about what it is. You gotta experience it." But all right. So here we go. Here is today's pick. And if you guys ever want to, if you guys want to tell me any music picks, you can hit me up at shelves_DC or 8224 on IG and let me know. DM me what song you want us to listen to. Send me either a video or audio recording, or if it is on Apple Music, let me know. Give me the title and the artist just so we can react to it for you guys here on NC Radio. All right. Let us.
You heard her, sports fans and music fans. Follow Shelby and listen to that.
Yes, please do. And all right, so here we go. I'm already laughing because I know this song. I'm low-key gonna be like singing the words back here, but again, not gonna try and ruin it. But here we go. Please enjoy. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your pick. Human Bondage by Straight Line Stitch. I want to let Brandon talk first because I've heard this song for a long period of time now. So, Brandon, do you have any thoughts? I think we're experiencing some technical difficulties right now. And so I will pretty much do a bit of an overall rundown. I really like this song. They came tenure, and I hope they come back for a second tenure sometime soon because it will be absolutely lovely to have them back again on the scene. However, I will share a little bit of an experience that I kind of had to Straight Line's music. Alexis was the first African American female growler that I heard as a child or as a young kid, and I was really like, wow, like that's that's impressive, and let alone that's impressive for a woman. But it was just really impressive just to see somebody who looked like me um, convey a message that again it could be taken by anybody for different reasons to be, but it's definitely a song that I really loved, and I just loved watching her um, be a part of, be the front woman, but let alone be a part of the band. And she's really just somebody to look up to. But I think we're catching on to Brandon again, and I want to let Brandon kind of have a little bit of a share his thoughts on the song before I kind of give what the song meant to me. So, Brandon.
All right, now that song was great. Oh man, I love that. I loved it. It spoke to me in a way that, I love the rock. I love that. I loved everything about that song. The song was great. It was just awesome to hear and see that. And it is, that song was so nice to hear that. It really, I grasped those big parts of that song, and I said, "Wow, those are some nice lyrics that they brought to the table as far as being a musical, and that's just really good to hear." And I'm glad you played that for our audience, Shelby. That's really good, and I appreciate you for that. And I think that like I said, if you want to follow Shelby, you can hit her up on IG at Shelbs _DC _8224. That's at shelves_DC_8224. And that song is really good. And I'm glad that we can incorporate music into our sportscast because it like I said, when you're playing an instrument, that's music could be a sport. You're playing an instrument, you're doing the work, you're doing the hand movements. That could be a gesture and just like that. So I definitely appreciate you playing that song for us, Shelby, and for the viewing audience. That is a really, really good. So that's all I have to say.
I was just sharing with everybody else that I love this song. And funny, Alexis was there's kind of this term for kind of like those. I know a lot of people think it's just, oh my God, they're screaming into the mic, but no, like actually there's like a fry. It's a vocal fry that she's kind of doing. And there's women who do it now a lot who are just really, really like very talented and just very good at it. But Alexis was the first African American woman I saw do it back then. So I was just like, hello, as if, yes. Like I'm seeing somebody who looks like me, and conveyed such a message, and not just during her growls, but also during like her cleans where she's like, and again, like she's talked about how like faith has been like a really big part of her and during her tenure, not just with music, but outside of music and in life. And sometimes even just listening to her words, like just listening to her cleans, they just, in a way, they almost just make you feel like like so much emotion and like the weight of what she says it's almost deafening. Like,
It really
sometimes
is. Really is.
I get a little emotional over it because it's just like listening to her voice sing such a big message. We've had a lot of artists during our times and during our years that sing these big songs, but then again, it's like, it's not just the massive weight of the song, it's how they say it. And that's what makes it the product that it is, that it can really like touch you in a way. And that's a song that's, I mean, goodness me, it's been a while since they've performed, and since the Transparency album, but that was definitely a song. Once I started listening to them back in 2013, I was like, okay, so this is kind of cool.
Wow, you listened to them back in 2013? Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, this and
awesome.
Conversion, another song they did on one of their earlier albums. For me, I have a few songs from them. Black Veil. Tell me if you guys in the chat know it. If you do,
Black Veil.
Let me know. Let me know what's your favorite song by Straight Line Stitch. If you're an SLS fan, let me know.
Yes, I don't know, please.
Please, because I would love to talk to you about that. But yeah, for me, I grew up on Black Veil, Conversion, and then also Human Bondage. But just the whole Transparency album, pretty much, I was just like, okay, so this is life changing. Going through
it really is.
Yeah. But if you guys want any other types of songs, if you want to do any other genres, if you want to do country, EDM, techno, whatever you guys want to do, please hit me up in the DMs, or you can go over to SoundCloud and also hit us up in the chat there and let us know what song do you want us to.
Yes. What song do you want us to play?
Mm-hmm.
And with that is a wrap for this edition of Sports Talk Live. Shelby and I will be back on here, I would say, next week.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be. This is our daily WWE music show that we do each week for you all, and we'll be back here same time next Wednesday to bring you more WWE news as we get ready for Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania down the road. So you've been listening to us. I will be back on Monday to bring you NBA and NFL news. And Shelby will be back here with me next Wednesday for our talk of WWE and also some NFL NBA news. But until then, you all have a safe and wonderful night. And we'll talk to you then. Shelby, anything you want to say to the audience before we go?
Thank you guys so much for listening, and we appreciate you guys listening. You guys are absolutely amazing, and we love hearing. We love that you guys love talking to us about wrestling and music and all these things. And I want to leave you guys with just take care of each other. Please take care of each other.
Please take care of each other. Please.
Pandemic going on out here, so please stay safe, wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart. We're not done yet. We're still trying to get through it, and I love you guys so much. Take care. Have a great evening.